and he's been on radio as well. And now he has, I guess, his DJ friend who's his producer now. So it's the Hoppe Hour. This is Ryan Hoppe. But are we calling it the Hoppe Hour still?
Isn't it a little sip of Hoppe Hour was the official name of this segment on WLS 890?
That is true. This is a little sip of Hoppe, but you are Ryan Hoppe, and introduce your co-host there.
Well, I'm here with DJ Pez, a.k.a. David Pezza, the best producer in all of the music business.
You're too kind. That means absolutely nothing. But it's good to be here on WLS.
Mario.
Well, you're on WLS AM 890 now with me and Jason. And as far as I know, this is going to be every week.
Mario, let me tell you something. Yeah. I'm from Chicago. I'm from Arlington Heights, Illinois. I went to Patton, Thomas, and Hersey, graduated in 2012. And when I tell you, I'm not just saying this to blow smoke, the fact that I'm on WLS 890 in Chicago right now is a dream come true. In first grade through eighth grade, when my mom would drive me to class, she would have on WLS at any time of the day. So the fact that I am on WLS 890, Mario, Chicago, I love you guys.
Well, we're happy to have you, Ryan. This is, I've been following your podcast for a while. We've been commenting back and forth. I thought you were still in Chicago, but I guess you're back and forth, right? You're in the summer weather and you're in the winter weather sometimes, right?
Yeah, I come back during the winter to see my mom, who lives at the house I grew up in Arlington Heights. We grew up right by the racetrack. I have memories of going to the racetrack. And then I live here in the Tampa Bay area and host a 2-time award-winning podcast. And I am very ripped from patting myself on the back whenever I introduce myself to anybody by having to let people know that my podcast is award-winning.
Well, look, why not? You gotta push it, right? I mean, you gotta say that stuff.
I mean, at anything.
Didn't you win awards?
At this point of day, you can just make an award for anything.
Anything.
You can have an award for anything.
Won some too.
I have an award for freshest socks.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't like to worry about getting lauded. I just like to do my craft, But yeah, it's cool to have you. The main reason I thought it would be cool is because a lot of the stuff you talk about just is hilarious to me. I don't know. Maybe it isn't everybody else in WLS land, but I love it. So I want to have you on as much as possible. And, obviously we can maybe coordinate the podcast with the show and everything. So we'll cross-promote,
Mario.
Well-known across the world on the Hoppe Hour.
It'll be a fun time.
Mario, I spent 21 years as an only child who lost his virginity at age 21.
Oh, geez.
So I spent 2 decades. Let me talk. I spent 2 decades listening to Chicago radio. And when I tell you that this is going to take off and we are going to run Chicago, I know that market better than anything. I read Robert Feeder articles. I am a diehard Chicago fan, and I want Chicago to love me and my narcissism and my only child syndrome.
I guess it reflects in the podcast because I like the sense of humor. That's for sure.
Thank you, sir.
Come on, it's got to be entertaining. We're here to entertain on some level. I don't know.
Dave, what does he do? Does he kind of bring you back to earth sometimes, and he does all the electronic stuff for you? What is his role?
Well, David is here because I met him a year ago. I'll keep this very short because I'm very long-winded. A year ago, I was laying in bed, bored as hell at 10 p.m., and I was like, you know what? I should go to Ybor City, which is a nightclub part of Tampa. Go to Ybor City that night, and I meet David. We're just chilling in the VIP section, and we immediately hit it off. So for about a year, I would go to all his club gigs, get drunk, and he would drive me home because I don't make much money. So he was my Uber home. So about a month ago, I realized that me and David work out every day, and we're best friends. So I said, why don't we do the podcast together? He's like a big brother to me. I have raging daddy issues. There was nothing wrong with my father growing up. God bless his soul. But David, how bad are my daddy issues?
Oh, he's like a little lost puppy. It's fine. He looks at you so endearingly as he just seeks your approval. It's very, I don't know what the word could be, but it's endearing, to say the least.
So David brings to the show, he brings a sense of humor that I have to watch out for. This guy is self-employed, Mario. I work for a corporation and then do this podcast on the side. I'm going to make a company next week to make sure my show is licensed. But this guy has no filter, and I have to watch out for that. And that's the beauty of him.
I mean, I kind of sometimes have a filter. I know the boundaries you can't cross, and I like to play, fiddle the line, I like to say.
On the podcast, it's okay. But
on the podcast,
radio,
of course.
Yeah,
on AM radio, we want to make sure that we are being proper and appropriate at all times.
Well, that's great, and I think it'll fit in good with the show. So you guys have a bunch of stuff you want to talk about. So I'll just let you guys go ahead and get into our new segment on Inspired and Motivated with Mario J. Bell, and it's a little sip of the Hoppe Hour.
Well, David, I was thinking about it. We're in this pandemic.
Yeah.
For the past 6 months.
Oh, God, it just won't end.
It seems like it's never going to end, and it's very frightening. When you had COVID, because you got COVID back in June.
Sure did.
Hell yeah,
we joined that COVID team.
You were graced with the greatness of COVID-19.
Just stamp a number on me.
Since we only have a few minutes and time is short, but I am not, what was it like having COVID?
I mean, I've had worse. I don't know. I had 4 people in my house with it. Nobody had a fever. Not one. I was all disappointed. I was like, man, I'm going to be bedridden. You know what I did? I quarantined by the pool sipping margaritas. It was terrible.
And you got to hang out with your friend that you hook up with. I don't know if it's a girlfriend or whatever she is, but she got to hang out because she got COVID too.
Yeah, we had a big slumber parties and everything. I had my friend visiting from up north. He caught it too. So we're like, guess who's not going home? You're staying.
Was there any point, David, though, when you get COVID, where you're a little nervous about what might happen? Like, because you're in great shape.
Of course. They're like, oh,
human.
It's going to be this terrible thing. And then you're waiting, and then you find out everyone around you has it, and you're like, oh, God, I know I got it now. And then you start to get a sniffle, and then you're like, oh, God, I hope this doesn't get worse. And then it doesn't. But, I don't know. I guess it's just being fortunate.
So they say that when you have a kid that your opinions about being a parent change once the kid is born. Now, let's put that into a COVID situation. I don't know why I just compared having a kid to COVID. But what I'm saying, David, is before COVID, did your opinion change once you were blessed with it back in June? Or do you think the same?
I mean, I feel like when they first paraded it out in the media, it was like terrifying. And then that's the thing, though. Like you always, the fear is always worse than what actually comes.
Yeah.
Well,
I think the other problem is I'm very much in the middle when it comes to everything in the media. I try to be open-minded, but it made me very angry. I think it was like March 10th or 12th.
Very anxious and angry.
When of course, I have a lot of panic attacks because I have ADHD and I overthink things. It made me very angry when I would watch the news the first few weeks, and it was just fear-mongering after fear-mongering after fear-mongering. And that Anderson Cooper and any news anchor ever, that was better than sex for them. You could have given them the best sex ever.
They're like, oh man, we can't wait for the ratings. We're just gonna milk this. Don't you just feel the fear?
Well,
bask in it.
I remember back in April or May, you put up a post where you were actually nervous watching that piece of dirt known as Chris Cuomo.
Chris Cuomo. As he's documenting his journey, he's like, oh, I'm dying, but I'm still doing my show every night.
Okay, here's my thing. I do believe he had COVID.
Of
I'm
course.
not a guy that goes that COVID's fake. I believe COVID's 100% real. I'm very nervous about it. But that when Chris Cuomo got COVID, that was like if an average Joe were to win $1 million. He was like, woohoo! He was so happy. He goes, ratings.
Nom. I mean, I watched it too. I was like, how's this guy doing? Is he alive? Is he dying? Like, he didn't look terrible.
And then I love 2 months later, he's like, well, the symptoms haven't gone away completely, and I've been feeling kind of depressed. That wasn't the official quote he said, but it was something to that fact.
Was this before or after he got caught outside of his house naked on his wife's cam?
That was ridiculous, too. He acts like he was the authority. He acts like he's better than us. But you know what's worse than him going on TV and spreading fear about COVID?
What?
You know what's worse than the outfit he wears every night, or the fact that he thought he should do a show in his basement? Have you seen those videos of him dancing with his daughter to TikTok? He looks like every father that's overcompensating.
Why is every parent doing this now? Like they look, oh yeah, we're going to jump on the bandwagon with my kid. And then it's just like, oh God, this feels so cringe right now.
I joined TikTok and I did legitimate videos of me doing the podcast or whatever. And I got sad when I was watching Death Wish 2 and it was a shooting scene in the background and I had my cat at the end of the bed looking all cute and I added Doomsday music and that video got 10,000 views and like 1,000 likes and then actual content I was creating got 5 likes. And that's when I realized I'm not going to go on TikTok and do some dance, and it was not for me. The fact that my adorable cat named Luna got more attention than me hurt my ego, David.
That's what you got to do. If you want views, or you got to have like dogs or cats, or you got to have some sort of discernible skill, like being able to blow a balloon up with your nose.
But you know what we've talked about? And now we're talking to the 3rd biggest market right now.
Oh my God, I can't believe we're on Chicago. We are on the Chicago airwaves. This is so exciting.
We are on WLS, which has been around for almost 100 years.
Oh my
God. But David, we're about to spill an idea that we've been talking about to everybody listening in Chicago, the millions of people throughout the whole Midwest.
Well, we have a lot of ridiculous ideas, so I'm not sure what you're entailing right now, but please do tell.
Outofworkbartenders.com.
Oh my God, yes, that's such a moneymaker idea right there. Because, you know, the porn industry has everything right now, so we figured it would be a great addition if we were hire out-of-work bartenders.
And have them do one scene and do a tryout, and then maybe they get picked up by Vivid Entertainment.
Oh, man, think of the money.
I'm actually embarrassed that I knew the name of a porn company. That kind of bothers me that I was able to just name Vivid Entertainment.
No, because you were such a virgin for so long, you have no choice. You just...
I think I can name more people in porn than actual, like, let's say, politicians or things that you were supposed to learn in class. It's very frightening.
That is kind of frightening.
Now, David.
Hey, this is Mario. I'm listening, and I want to know more about your idea. Tell us more about the website and how that would happen, how that would work out.
Oh, okay. So out of work bartenders. So we got to take all these out of work bartenders, and we just pay them to do a scene. I figure the investment will be kind of low. A few $1,000s to just have a scene with. I don't know. We'll find a nice.
We got to keep
gentleman.
AM radio clean. We can't get too dirty here. We're not shock jocks. We don't live in the 90s. But how long would the scene be? How much money?
I figure an hour. Like, how much would you work for that?
An hour, dude. That's like everything.
I mean, like 30 minutes. I don't know. What's an acceptable video length? Adult.
Do we get a part of it? I could help out, but I want to know what my piece of the action is, I guess.
I mean, we need investors.
Mario. I don't think you want to be in it.
Double % on your return.
I know you want money, and we all want money. But don't the guys look so miserable in the videos? Oh, you're offended, Chicago radio listener? Everybody watches porn. Relax. Every single guy looks like it's so much pressure. Because think about how many producers are in the background. I could never do it. I'm actually honored whenever I am getting laid. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Someone wants to have sex with me. So I can't imagine doing it on camera. I don't know about you, Mario.
What if we were to dress you up in like a costume, like a furry costume,
we should
and have
do
you perform?
Super Mario. Have you be Super Mario?
Oh my God, Super Mario.
Have you find your princess and maybe Luigi comes in.
He's gotta come in and like beat Bowser.
Mario.
We'll talk off the air about that. That's kind of interesting.
I got it. You're saving the princess and Luigi is jealous. And Wario, who's the forgotten about character that no one cares about, we can have him be the creepy director in the background that talks. Wario is the perfect porn director.
And then Luigi can come in for the DP.
Oh my God. And then Bowser.
Oh my God. Can we say that?
If you have to edit it out, that's fine. Bowser can be the company logo.
Boy, you guys have a lot of time on your hands, don't you?
Oh, literally.
Toppy's got a lot of time in his hands.
Mario.
Literally.
Got my little zinger I get to play. I'm looking forward to hearing more of the full podcast and also, of course, the little sip of Hoppe here on Inspired and Motivated with Mario, J. Bell, and Jason, and all our other people that are participating. And you know what? This was interesting. So I can't wait to hear the latest podcast because I didn't hear it yet.
Well, we'll be doing that in a little bit.
So, for Chicago.
It was great having you guys.
Go to every podcasting app. I record for the average hardworking Joe trying to make it in life. That's the demographic, 25-54 men and women. Go to every podcasting app, search up Hoppe Radio, and add us on social media. Ryan Hoppe, Hoppe, and David Pezza.
Spotify, Apple Music, Hoppe Hour.
Everything. Just look up Ryan Hoppe on
and that's
everything.
Hopp with an E.
Right. And then, of course, we'll have links on my page, on the motivation page on Facebook and
Yay.
the site I'm working on. So we'll have that all for you. We'll all cross promote. But hey, it was great having you guys on, and we'll talk to you next week.
Mario, it's a pleasure. We're excited. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Take care. Thanks, Chris. And we'll be right back after this on AM 890 WLS.